You probably believe your relationships are built on trust and mutual respect. You're mistaken. Every interaction with your boss, your family, even your friends, is, at its core, a negotiation of power. Now, it can sound dark, but it isn't always. Think of a mother fighting for her child's well-being. That's power rooted in love and protection. The challenge is that most of the power you encounter isn't so pure. They'll tell you to be open and vulnerable, but in the hidden game of influence, that vulnerability isn't always seen as a strength. It's often seen as an opportunity to be exploited. What if you could see the game for what it is? What if you held the forbidden knowledge to ensure you're never controlled again? Niccolò Machiavelli understood this brutal reality 500 years ago, and today, you'll learn 5 of his most guarded secrets to master any relationship. For centuries, his name has been synonymous with cunning and the ruthless pursuit of power. But to dismiss his work as simple evil is to willfully ignore the fundamental truths of human nature. Machiavelli didn't invent these rules. He just had the courage to write them down. He saw the world not as it should be, but as it often is, an arena of self-interest. The people you deal with every day are governed by this same law. They might hide it behind smiles and words of loyalty, but deep down, self-interest is the engine of human action. Understanding this isn't cynical. It's the beginning of wisdom. It's the first step to building a fortress around your mind so that you are no longer a pawn in other people's games. You'll learn to see the strings before they're pulled. You'll learn to command respect, navigate conflict, and position yourself as a master of your own fate. This is how you leverage the brutal truths of human nature so you're never controlled again. Let's begin. Secret number 1, the Law of Dependency. He who needs less controls more. The first and most important secret is the foundation of all power: dependency. Power isn't some mystical force. It's a simple, brutal equation. Your power over someone is directly proportional to how much they need you. This brings us to a core principle that aligns with Machiavelli's thinking. The one who needs less controls more. This applies to every single relationship you have. Think about your job. An employee with in-demand skills and multiple job offers has immense power. Why? Because the employer depends on them more than they depend on that one job. On the flip side, an employee with no other options who desperately needs their paycheck has zero power. They are entirely dependent and therefore entirely controllable. This is just as true in your personal life. In friendships and romantic relationships, the person who is less emotionally invested, who is willing and able to walk away, holds the ultimate power. Emotional neediness is a currency you hand over to others, allowing them to purchase your compliance. When you're terrified of being alone, you'll accept disrespect. When you're desperate for approval, you'll compromise your values. The Machiavellian master works relentlessly to minimize their own dependencies, while subtly encouraging others to depend on them. This isn't about becoming a cold, isolated island. It's about cultivating self-reliance. Have your own money. Build your own social circle. Develop a strong sense of self-worth that doesn't rely on anyone else's validation. the more you can provide for yourself, emotionally, financially, and socially, the less anyone can hold over you. Your independence is your power. When you truly need nothing from anyone, you are free to negotiate every relationship on your own terms. Secret number 2, use virtue. Don't be used by it. We're all taught that virtues like honesty, fairness, and compassion are the cornerstones of good character. A Machiavellian understands that in the theater of power, these virtues are often just weapons used by others to control you. People will appeal to your sense of fairness to get more than they deserve. They'll leverage your kindness to offload their responsibilities onto you. They will count on your honesty to discover your weaknesses. Machiavelli's famous advice was that a leader must always appear moral, but should never be so bound by morality that it leads to their own destruction. To be completely good in a world where many people are not is to guarantee you'll be taken advantage of. If you're always predictably good, you're easily exploited. Your compassion becomes a button for manipulators to push. Your commitment to doing the right thing becomes a cage that limits your options, while your rivals, who have no such constraints, operate with total freedom. Consider the family dynamic where one sibling is the responsible one, the one who always holds everything together. The others create mess after mess, confident their savior will fix it. Their virtue is the very tool of their enslavement. The masters of relationships understand this perfectly. They cultivate a public reputation for integrity because it builds trust and influence. But privately, they are pragmatic. This isn't a license to be cruel. It's about recognizing that sometimes protecting your interests requires you to act against conventional morality, to be deceptive, or to put your own needs first. You don't always do what's right. You do what is necessary. The appearance of virtue is a powerful tool. Being a prisoner to it is a fatal weakness. Secret number 3, master the art of selective honesty. In a world of power and self-interest, radical honesty is suicide. Revealing all your thoughts, intentions, and vulnerabilities is like handing your enemies the blueprint for your defeat. The Machiavellian practitioner views information as a currency, to be spent wisely, saved carefully, and sometimes counterfeited for strategic advantage. They are masters of selective honesty. Now, this doesn't mean you should become a pathological liar. That's clumsy, and it destroys your reputation. Instead, it's about controlling the narrative. You reveal truths that build a specific, useful perception of yourself while concealing your true intentions. Think of a negotiation. You'd never reveal your desperation for the deal or the absolute maximum you're willing to pay, right? That would be strategic insanity. Instead, you project an aura of calm confidence, of having other options. You're not lying. You're controlling the flow of information. The same principle applies in personal relationships. A friend asking for your opinion on a sensitive topic may not be seeking truth. They might be seeking validation. A direct, unvarnished answer could needlessly create an enemy. And what's one of your most powerful tools? Silence. It makes others uneasy, and they'll rush to fill it by revealing their own plans and weaknesses. While they're talking, you're observing, calculating, and learning. You use deception not as a blunt instrument, but as a scalpel, employed with precision to protect yourself. Remember, people will rarely punish you for a lie that flatters them, but they will often resent you for a truth that hurts their ego. Secret number 4, control your emotions to influence theirs. Emotion is the enemy of power. To be emotional is to be reactive. To be reactive is to be predictable. And to be predictable is to be controllable. Anger, love, jealousy, guilt. These are all strings that others can pull to make you dance to their tune. A person who can make you angry has power over you. A person who can make you feel guilty has power over you. A Machiavellian strategist practices what modern thinkers call emotional detachment, something Machiavelli would have seen as strategic self-control. This doesn't mean they're joyless robots. It means they've learned to separate their internal feelings from their external actions. They might feel anger, but they don't act from anger. They see it as data, a signal that a boundary has been crossed, and then, with a cool mind, decide on the most strategic response. A heated argument is a perfect laboratory for power. The person who loses their composure loses the war. They scream, they accuse, they reveal their deepest insecurities, handing their opponent all the ammunition they need. The detached individual, by contrast, remains calm. They observe the other person's outburst, not with judgment, but with curiosity, seeing the fears and desires driving the emotion. This detachment allows for a higher form of influence, emotional mirroring. A strategist can project warmth to disarm someone, building a rapid sense of trust. They can mirror another's anger to show solidarity before redirecting it toward a common enemy. They are actors on a stage, playing the part the situation requires, while their true self remains untouched, observing and planning from behind the curtain. Master your emotions, and you can begin to master others. Secret number 5, never outshine the master. This final secret is about navigating hierarchies, whether at work, in your family, or in your social circle. There's always a master, a boss, a patriarch, a dominant figure at the top. The most dangerous mistake you can make is to seem more brilliant or competent than this person. To outshine the master is to spark a fear and insecurity that will lead to your downfall. They will see you as a threat and move to neutralize you. This doesn't mean you should be mediocre. Mediocrity makes you disposable. The secret is the delicate balance of being brilliant while making your superiors feel even more brilliant. You produce exceptional results, but you publicly give them credit for their wisdom and guidance. You make them look good to their own superiors. You become their secret weapon, the indispensable source of their success. This strategy achieves 2 critical goals. First, it neutralizes the master as a threat. They see you as a valuable ally, not a rival. Second, and more importantly, you make them dependent on you. Your competence becomes essential to their position. They can't afford to lose you, because without you, their own star begins to fade. This brings us right back to the first law of dependency. By making yourself indispensable while staying in the shadows, you may not have the title, but you have the real power. The master becomes your puppet, reliant on your skills to maintain their position. This is the height of Machiavellian strategy, to wield immense influence without ever seeming like a threat. These 5 secrets aren't a guide to becoming a monster. They are a map of the world as it truly is. Power dynamics are the operating system of human relationships. You can either remain ignorant of these rules and spend your life being manipulated, or you can learn them and take control of your destiny. Machiavelli's wisdom isn't about crushing others for sport. It's about recognizing that you must be skilled in the art of war to ever have peace. It's understanding that to protect yourself and your interests, you must be willing to see and use the levers of power that shape human behavior. This knowledge gives you a choice. You can still choose kindness and trust, but now you'll do so from a position of strength, not weakness. You'll give these gifts selectively to those who have earned them, while staying protected from those who would exploit your good nature. If you're ready to see the world as it is, not as you wish it were, subscribe for more forbidden wisdom. And comment below with the phrase, "I am the master of my own state."